My ultimate goal for my language class is to engage my students in a very authentic, genuine production of language. In this case, conversation. I like to get my students involved into active learning. I believe that getting them standing up and moving around the class help them learn and actually improve their retention and retrieval for the memory. And one of the things that we do in our class that actually they choose by themselves is a tool called Plicker. In Plickers, it's this little thing here. As you can see, we can use these, or students can use this to just answer questions. So we just use it for kind of like quizzes or reading comprehension tests. If the one, it's usually just a multiple choice assessments or activities, and the one they think that is the correct one just holds up, like in this case A or B or C or D. The good thing about this is it gives you freedom to move around the class and actually gives you and your students instant feedback. In this case, the role play activity, the students will actually twist a little bit just the plickers, because they used it. I put these plickers on magnets, so they use them. So we just modify a little bit the normal routines where like plickers are used just to answer questions. So it gets more into a more dynamic class, and so students just use this, just throwing this to the board and choosing their activities. In this case, students are working on role plays, on habits, and they can choose by just throwing this into the board as it were a game, like habits with friends or weekends or family as well. So they choose that, and after that they use their plickers to actually go through a little quiz that it's actually used for checking in the learning, but also helping them to build a little of vocabulary and structures for the upcoming activity. And after that, I just give them time to work on the topic that they have chosen for 2 minutes, and right after that, students just jump into direct conversation, real conversation, and that would be the assessment. What we can see is, like, with all this routine, the students are paying more attention to other things, and not like anxiety just goes off the window. They don't feel like they're being put into under pressure for speaking. So the interactions comes off in a more natural way, in a more authentic way, and the results are being pretty good.
It was a good way to get us moving and actively learning, which is why I liked it so much. We had to throw these little magnets on the board and pick which activity we wanted to do, and so it kind of gave us a choice on which activity. We also got a choice on if we wanted to do this oral exam or a writing test or listening and responding. And even though this is mostly speaking, it involves everything. And I also like the fact that it gets you moving and we're not in our desks writing, because that gets really boring after a while. And Spanish is something where you really need to practice speaking all the time, and this did a good job incorporating everything. And so it really helped me improve just in the last 2 or 3 weeks we've been doing this.
When I took my exam, I was feeling like really anxious before the exam had started. But then when I took it, I came up with like so much confidence, and then this is giving me also confidence for the second semester. If I can do better in Spanish in that case. We did some brainstorming even before the exam started, and then after that Mr. Luna gave us some feedback, what to do and what not to do, and then we applied all those feedback in the exam finally, and then this led me to have a good exam for the semester.